Alright guys, I'm gonna get started here with about a 45-minute session on Bovada. Just so you know, I know what I'm doing. This is my results so far on 10 no limit and 5 no limit. Bovada. Alright, and I'm gonna get started here with 2 tables of 10 and 2 tables of 5. I think Bovada is the best site right now for US players. Not a huge fan of the anonymous. That's why I play zone really instead of regular. And the payouts are extremely fast. I actually got my first payout in 12 hours of request, which is pretty amazing for a US facing site right now. Alright, a 3-bet here and he flats. I'm just gonna check it. And he pots it. He's probably got like 9s or 10s. Maybe ace jack. There's no auto reload on zone as far as I know, which is pretty frustrating. Okay, just double checking that's working. He bets 40 into 160, so I got odds to hit a 10, and I do. He checks it. I'm gonna bet. He folds. Oh. I don't think there's really too much of a reason to slow play in the zone. They just pay you off so much. I'm going to be starting a website soon with training, Players First Gaming, offering apprenticeship for people who want to beat the micros. And also I have another coach who plays high stakes heads up sit and goes, and another player who plays high stakes zone, which he plays the maximum they have, which is 50 cent $1 and $1 $2, which they just started about a week ago. That site's going to be playersfirstgaming.com. I'll put a link in the bottom. It should be up and ready to go in a few days. I think zone is a totally different strategy than regular 6 max because you have 0 reads, so it's a lot more math based, a little more swingy, even though there is a lot more fish in the zone pool so far. I'm real like OCD about my stack not being fully topped off. I could have bet that, but I mean, I think any 5, any 10, 6s through 9s is going to call. You know, ace 3, ace 4. Even though it's super dry board, it is into 2 people, so I decided just to check. There's not a lot of money in zone as far as I'm concerned bluffing. There's just too much value in playing a value-based strategy. I'm just gonna flat here with ace queen. See a flop. Okay, this guy bets. I'm gonna ship it with middle pair and a flush draw. I mean a straight draw. He's got 10-4. Oh. And I suck out for the win. With his stack size, I'm just never really folding there. I mean, he only has $1. I'm gonna check back, see if I can't get a river bet from this guy. So he checks. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out 130. The videos on my website are going to have a lot more in-depth strategy discussion. I'll break hands down, do stuff like that, show you how to maintain a good win rate at these levels and move on pretty quickly. This is kind of just a preview video to see if who's interested. So 45, I'm getting 3-1. King queen suited. I will make that call. Alright, so I guess checked around, and then he bets $1.20. I'm only really beating queen jack. I'm gonna have to make one call though. Okay, he checks. I can really only beat queen jack and queen 9 and a missed flush draw, so I don't know how much value there is in betting. I'm just gonna check. Okay, he bet with 4s. I don't think if I bet he would have called there. He possibly could have. Sometimes they call crazy stuff, especially in the 5-no limit. Try to do 4 tables so it's not so boring. I got jacks here in the big blind. Make it about the size of the pot, 50. I will complete here in the small blind. Okay, so flop a monster. I'm just gonna check it. No reason to bet. Don't have a jack. They probably don't have a 6. Okay, he ships it. I really don't even care about his dollars. I really want this dude's 5, but he's probably gonna fold. Yeah, queen jack, drawing completely dead. And of course I only beat a short stacker. The short stackers in this game really tilt me. And they're not even meaning to short stack, they just don't buy more chips, they'll just play their whole stack. It's a little loose open right here, but I don't mind it. Standard small blind open. The ace comes. If it wasn't two clubs, I would make a bet. Just if the 7 came, could be a dirty club and really get me in trouble. I try to avoid, even if I make a small mistake by folding, I try to just avoid marginal spots in this anonymous zone. Typically I play a lot more aggressive, loose aggressive in a game where you could use my HUD and make reads on certain players. Okay, he bets. I get a lot of this min bet. I mean, so I'm getting 6 to 1 on a call. So I mean, I'm just gonna call him down. He's got 9s. I mean, people like that just have no idea what they're doing. Alright, I get 3 bet here. I want to make the call. Spike a king. I'm gonna be getting this all in. Alright, he bets at 215. I mean, hopefully he doesn't have aces. I'm gonna make it kind of small, so maybe he'll shove. Okay, ace king versus ace king. I'm gonna fold to that 3 bet. Like I said, this is not how I normally play in a HUD 6 max. I was playing on Winning Poker Network at first. True Poker, I did pretty well. Played like 60,000 hands, won at 5 BB. But I did have a HUD and could remember certain players and their tendencies, so it's a lot different strategy I play than when I play this. Let me just double check the stream. Looks good. The first video I made, I had a little bit of trouble. It like disconnected, so just making sure this one's still good. Okay, I got a limper under the gun, so I'm gonna make it 18. He's got about over 100 big blinds. So I got a double gutter. Queen jack suited. I'm gonna be raising that under the gun. He snap calls, a spade comes. I lose a lot of equity in my hand like this. We get shoved on table 1. I'm out of position. I don't have very many. I don't have a lot of equity versus range. I could be ahead. Most likely not. So it looks like an easy fold. Normally I'm not calling small pairs out of the big blind, but to a min raise, I will make this call. Okay, so he 3 bet, I got 3s, that's the easy fold. I'm gonna c-bet this right here. Get a call from maybe 9-8. Some type of club draw. I'm gonna check back. Okay, he bets 54. I'm just gonna make a. Oh god, I feel like I should call. I'm gonna make a very thin call here. Like I said, it's not read based, it's like all math based, you know. I was getting 3-1 on a call, so I only had to be right 25% of the time, which I think I am slightly going to be ahead over 25% of the time there. So that's why I make that call. I'm opening all pairs from all positions. Calling them is a different story, but I'm definitely open raising them. Alright, I'm gonna c-bet this right here. Attack this limper. And I see a lot of limp re-raising, pretty much aces and kings, maybe ace-king. So if you do come across that in zone, I would be careful. I'm just going to check that back. I don't think I'm folding any small pair there, and I'm only going to fold out worse aces. I would call the, or no, too big of a raise to call out of position there. Pretty much just trying to avoid all marginal spots. Ace jack's probably good here. Yeah. Getting 2-1 on a call almost. Ace, he raises it 4 down on ace jack. That's a little loose, but since it's suited, I will make that call. God, he just checked it. I really have no equity. Pretty good flop here. Middle pair with a flush draw. I mean a straight draw. Man, I keep messing up. I do know the difference between a flush and a straight. Okay, he min raises, so 17. I mean, obviously getting plenty of odds to call there. I'm blocking the nuts 8-9. He could have. Okay, I'm just gonna check back. I'm not. And then he pots it. Can't really make that call there with the 7. The only thing that really missed is like 9 jack. So. I really do enjoy this zone, the fast pace of it. Like I said, it's a little more swingy. You have to call with a lot wider of a range than I normally would, because I would be able to put a player on how he bets his value range and how he bets his bluffing and mediocre range, which I can't do here. You just have to put them on a very wide range after the board. No reason to c-bet into 4 people. Man, that guy's got a 6 buy-in stack almost. Pretty nice. He bets $1. Can't call even with the gutter on a flushed and paired board. I'm just going to complete here instead of raising. See if I can flop an ace, which I do. I will flat that. so he could have a diamond draw or like Jack Queen. I'm gonna check. He did, okay, he limps and then now he shoves all in. What? This is the kind of stuff that makes absolutely no sense. I mean, what would he limp there? Sixes? I'm obviously not calling. Maybe I shouldn't have bet that turn. I'm just gonna check here. Pick up an open-ender instead of to go with my gutter. No one's shown any strength, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a little bet and see what happens. And they both fold, and I take it down with 5 high, double gutter. Got the ace queen suited, easy open. Flop a gut shot. I normally would bet this into one player, but into two, I just don't know how many folds I'm gonna get. People don't like to fold. Alright, I got a call with the nut flush draw. I'm just gonna check back again. Check that. Okay, I pick up the nut flush. I'm gonna throw out a pot size bet. A7. When you do get a hand, I know some of you are probably saying I'm betting maybe too big, but from my experience, betting big is what's going to work, because oh, sorry. Yeah, betting big is what's going to be the best option in my opinion for when you do make a hand. Yeah, sometimes you won't get called, but when you do get called, it's going to make up for all those little weak gay value bets that most people make with very strong hands. With no reads, I think it's just best to bet big. Most players don't like to fold. I think that's where the edge comes in. These players don't fold flush draws, straight draws, or most pairs, even to large pot size bets. We got aces in the big blind. Hopefully, maybe we'll get some action. We got a limper under the gun, and that's it. So I'm gonna raise them kind of big here. And he calls. We hit an ace. It's just so unlikely he has an ace that might scare him. This is a time where I think I'm gonna slow play. Alright, and now I'm gonna go for the pot. And he folds. That's the thing about flopping a set of aces. Very unlikely that they'll have another ace. I'm just gonna go ahead and fold. Doubt queen high is gonna be good. I got some playable hands from the big blinds here. So he limps and I raised. Now he has re-raised. I mean, I'm getting 4 to 1 on a call. Out of position with 10s versus short stacker. I mean, I just can't fold 4 to 1. 30 big blinds. I'm not gonna call there. It's not worth it. And he pops it for overpot like a maniac. He's probably got, man. I mean, I can only really be ace king. I see bet here. Don't really know what he could have. Maybe 8-9 and I win. 5 cents. I mean, this is the kind of ridiculous stuff they do in zone, which I really am a little. I mean, with this, like he could have 8-9. So I mean, I'm gonna just call those min bets all day in a huge pot like that. Or not a huge pot, but a huge pot to bet ratio. Come on, buddy, don't you have jacks and just want to go crazy? I really wish Bovada would add auto top off. It's very frustrating to have to keep doing that. And if I do, you saw there how I couldn't load it fast enough, and I picked up, you know, a good hand like queens, missing 6.5 big blinds. I'm gonna 3-bet the king queen offsuit here just because I don't like playing out of position. I have a decent hand versus he's attacking a limper on the button. We'll see what he does. So I'm gonna go for a squeeze here with the 2-4 suited. I don't recommend doing like this unless you're pretty alright at hand reading. Alright, I get one call, so I'm kind of gonna give up if I don't hit anything good. And I flop 2 pair, which is pretty good. I'm gonna get action from 6s through aces pretty much, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop it out for 250. And he calls and the flush comes. I mean, I'm pretty much just pot committed. I can't fold. I'm just gonna hope he doesn't have a flush. And he calls with 6s. And we take down a big pot. That was really bad of him to call there with 6s out of position for that huge 3-bet when he was squeezed. And that's how you 3-bet from the button and make it work. Alright guys, that's going to be it for my sample video right now. I'll put a few more samples out. If you're interested in joining me or one of my coaches at an apprentice, visit our website. It's www.playersfirstgaming.com. And you can read some info about how to sign up. We do offer a few free apprenticeships, and we're not a big volume site, so we don't just let anybody and everybody sign up. Our goal isn't to make the most money, but it's to teach the best. And I do have a degree in education, so that's why I think it sets us apart. Most poker coaches that call themselves coaches aren't really aware of traditional educational practices, just like how a lot of professional basketball players or football players doesn't necessarily mean they'll be a good coach. So, once again, visit our site. I'll try to put a link in there. It's playersfirstgaming.com. Alright, thanks guys.